Hello, everybody. Welcome back to On Defense, the only sports podcast that you are allowed to listen to. As always, I am Screwed Van Gogh, and sitting with me on the other side of the room, the guy who thinks he knows all the answers to all the sporting events that are going to happen this year, is Roman Rubio.
Hey. We are an elite company. Do you know that? You know we're an elite company?
Oh, yeah.
Scooter?
We're starting off with this?
I'm just saying, ODF, On Defense, we're an elite company. We're top 3% in the world in FIFA.
In FIFA.
Or EFC
Clubs.
24. Yeah, EFC Clubs 2024.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means.
We just started playing this game like 4 months ago, bro.
Like 2 months ago, June. We started playing in June, I'm pretty sure.
I think it's a little bit longer than that.
You think? It's May or June, one of the two.
Yeah, but hey, we are top tier dogs. We scoring, we defending, we heading.
We are defending.
Well, sometimes we do. We're sliding, we're getting yellow cards. Any other soccer reference, we're doing it.
Yeah.
The best.
Not only are we elite podcasters, but we are elite EAFC players.
Yeah, probably better podcasters.
Probably better podcasters.
Probably.
Not a freaking joke.
I can't do a single dribble move.
And
I think
nobody on the team can do a single.
And I think that's what's broken about us is that we are not good individually. I feel like if I went and played like just FIFA like 1-on-1 against somebody who's really good at FIFA, they probably work me because they're probably gonna be doing a lot of just crazy kick arounds and stuff. And we just are running gun. Basically, throwing oops is our offense. Just
oops are super deep long shots for no reason.
That sounds like the NBA.
Either
you're taking a really close shot or you're taking a really far shot. Those are the two shots of the NBA now.
We are moving. We are changing the game of FIFA, of soccer in front of our very eyes because we are bringing basketball into it.
Yeah, why don't more real teams play the way we play?
I know. They're not an elite division.
You get a guy who will sacrifice his body and dive into any situation. No matter what sure, it might hurt his elbow a little bit, but he'll be fine in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what they need to find in the real team.
Anyways, just wanted to put that out there that we are elite in multiple ways. But we got a great show today. We're going to be talking some NFL action. Going to be talking some maybe NFL flag football or Olympic flag football action.
Oh, already.
Making some predictions in like that field and the NFL and talking about some other things that we may or may not get to. But to start it all off, I mean, we've been saying this for the last couple episodes, but football is back. Football is on the horizon.
Back, and it's been 2 weeks. And let me tell you, I haven't seen a single starter play for the Panthers on offense or defense.
Oh, no.
And the Bills have already announced that their starters are not going to play against us on Saturday. So I think that we're also not going to play our starters.
No way.
And I think the first time I'll see Bryce Young throw a ball in a Dave Canales offense will be Week 1 against the Saints, which
interesting matchup.
I'm happy to play the Saints because, like, to be honest, out of all the divisional rivals, I feel like they're also the one that's kind of like
the question mark. Yeah,
like really kind of like, ooh, like, are we sure about this coach and stuff like that? And so I'm happy to start off with them, but if we get our ass kicked by fucking the Saints.
Long year.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long year, and like I'm gonna be just so upset that like they hit it, like because I feel like that's what's happening right now. Is like Patrick Mahomes has played both games, at least one series of both games.
Yeah, I think one series of both games, maybe a little more. Than that.
Why is it the guy who's won multiple rings playing, but Bryce Young, the guy who clearly needs reps? Our offensive line, this past week, a lot of people are saying that since on Thursday we had a joint practice with the Jets where the starters played each other for about 60 snaps, that the coaching staff was fine seeing that. Which, I mean, that's cool, but I want to see some
not
stuff.
all the fans get to see that stuff.
Yeah, I want to see that stuff, bro.
And it's like, the stadium, the atmosphere, even though preseason's not the same. But, like, you still want that, like, type of atmosphere type practice.
Plus, like, some players just play different in games. Like, so, like, our fifth-string wide receiver, Terrace Marshall Jr., we drafted him in the second round, like, 2 or 3 years ago from LSU. And, like, apparently in practice, like, if there's no pads on, dude's a monster. Like, he gets open, does great catches, but as soon as you throw the pads on and get him out in front of a crowd, bro, he's awful. So, like, I just want to see the product in front of the crowd, at least for a series. Like, and why not? Like, I understand, like, you don't want to risk injury against a bunch of second-string guys, but, like, I feel like that's the time to go do it because, like, if we go out there and we look like shit in front of, like, against second-string guys, then we definitely know that we're fucked.
Yeah. Because I mean that's especially at a team in your like situation to not see your starters.
Mhm.
You know, not saying every single starter that you've had was from last season, but like maybe not a good majority, but like I'd say a solid, like at least the most important pieces of your team
Yeah.
are like were starters last year.
Like 3 out of the 5 offensive linemen are starters, but we've also moved one of our starting guards to center. So
you
like,
got to get those reps.
yeah,
in,
we
man.
got to
You
get those
gotta
reps
go
in, and like we have 2. Both of our guards are new. We signed them in the offseason.
Yeah.
So like this offensive line has never played with each
Yeah.
other, and and they've never played with Bryce. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like
It's that's a big, especially a team that's coming off back-to-back Super Bowls, already playing their starters both games.
Yeah.
Especially the first preseason game. It seems like it's pretty standard around the NFL for a lot of teams to not play starters the first week of the preseason because it's just like first week of the preseason. You want to wait to the last week, the week before 2 weeks before the last game before the real games start. That's when you want to get the most reps out of your starters. And the fact that the top team's playing them and the bottom team that didn't even get a draft pick last year isn't playing that. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But your head coach, maybe he starts a new trend. Maybe he
he's
sets a
younger
precedent
coach,
for,
and maybe there's less value because I feel like there has always been less
Analytics.
value, and like more value in analytics, less value in like overworking players.
Yeah.
So I mean, hopefully that comes into play. Like, but then also I say all this, and if they were to go out and play, and one of our starting linemen blows his fucking knee out, I'll be mad that happened during a pointless preseason game. So,
sorry, I forgot my phone on silent.
wow.
But any like leading up to the last preseason game for everybody, any like surprise cuts or surprise like you think makes on the rosters that maybe you didn't see heading into the preseason / like training camp?
You mean like across the NFL or just like?
I mean across the NFL and then also your team if you see anybody like you run your team.
Not really. So like the problem is, dude, is like all I've really been able to see is a bunch of backups.
Yeah.
And so, and there have been some of those backups that have impressed, but like what sucks is we signed Dane Jackson from the Bills. He's hurt for 6 weeks. So he was supposed to be our second corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's gone. Stephon Gilmore, who a lot of Panthers fans were hoping would be signed to the Panthers, he goes to Minnesota for $10 million, which that's a lot of money for a 34-year-old corner who, not saying he can't do anything, but like I don't think he would make us like noticeably better.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with us not spending $10 million on him. Well, $7 million that can go up to $10 million. But I mean, we had a kid named Lamar Jackson who
I saw that.
who was playing real well, and he played real well in the first preseason game. He was playing well in practice, and he hurt his knee, and we released him after last game because we got you guys in there who can play. You know, like so. I hope maybe we bring him back when he gets healthy.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting to see who everybody else releases because I'm hoping that there's some good players who maybe are just disgruntled or like the teams just decide that their contracts aren't worth it anymore because we're number one in the waiver wire. So I hope we can pick up.
And you stay on that for how long? Like till you pick somebody up? I forget how.
I don't know
because I know fantasy football. It's you pick it up like as soon as you pick someone, then you drop down, or it's week by week basis.
Yeah, well, I think it's week by week. So,
Yeah.
and I just don't know if it's like if we get to offer all the people first, but I know we get first dibs so we clearly will go after points or positions of need, you know, like hopefully we go for positions of need. But we have a rookie linebacker, he was a 3rd round pick, Trevon Wallace. I forget Wallace is his last name though, and he's
middle linebacker, outside linebacker,
from Kentucky, and he's fast, dude, and he's roaming around, like dude. And then, but he's been looking really good. And Shaq Thompson, you know, he's been our starting linebacker for years, but he's on like the last year of his deal, so he might be gone after this year. So I like seeing him like already getting a bunch of reps and stuff like that, especially as a 3rd rounder, you know. So
anybody else around the league catch your eye, like a underdog sleeper guy?
I just don't know like who's going to actually be let go, you know, like, and I feel like anybody who I would want, like, because you know people are getting rid of people that they don't want anymore. So like, if there's a young guy who I'm like, ooh, that's a sleeper, I hope he gets let go. Chances are he's been playing good, so chances are he probably won't be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Well, I got good news for you.
What's that?
There's this guy that's on an NFL team right now, previous Super Bowl champion, actually scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. His name's Sky Moore.
Yeah.
He's probably not going to make a roster for the Kansas City Chiefs because he sucks.
Does he? What was he, a first-round pick? Wasn't he?
He was a second-round pick,
Second-round pick.
2 years ago. Yeah, his rookie year was the Eagles Super Bowl, and now his only touchdown his entire rookie year was in the Super Bowl, like the second to last touchdown we scored in that game. But he's probably not going to make the roster because we've got a lot of guys ahead of him that are just showing out more. Also, another guy that's in jeopardy of not making our roster is Kadarius Toney.
Oh, yeah?
A younger guy, longest punt return in Super Bowl history against the Eagles. Also scored a touchdown in that game. The same exact play that Sky Moore scored. So those two guys may be on the move on the.
He's also sucking?
Well, he's not sucking. He's just injured, and last year was a really bad year for him, for Kadarius Toney. Like he cost us the first game of the season against the Lions, 2 crazy drops, one of them leading to a tipped pick 6, and lost us that game. And then we started he slowly started getting less and less snaps, and he got injured, and then during the playoffs started talking ish on the Chiefs right before the Super Bowl, and then won the Super Bowl, and he was like, yeah, and then
just kidding, we're real good.
But he might be cut from us too. I don't know what'll happen. I don't know if we'll keep him on the practice squad or whatever. But one guy on our team that I really like, I think people should keep an eye on. His name is Carson Steele, number 42. He's like a hybrid, running back, fullback guy, and man, as he's shown out in the preseason games, I've really liked the stuff that he's done. I hope he makes the roster. So.
He's just been blocking, or has he been getting catches?
He's been breaking tackles. He's been a running back.
They've been running him.
Yeah. He hasn't really played fullback, but he's kind of got the body of a fullback, and kind of just a hybrid guy.
Fullback really doesn't exist anymore.
It doesn't, but he could be the guy that could play fullback, but also has the ability and the speed and the break tackle ability to play running back. So I'm a big fan of his.
Maybe
I hope
your
he
next
makes
tight end.
Huh?
Or maybe your next tight end.
We're kind of deep on tight ends, actually. We got Travis, obviously. We got Noah Gray, who we drafted 3-ish, 4-ish years ago, who's coming up. And then we drafted a guy this last offseason. I think his name's Jared Wiley, I believe his name is. And we also signed a guy from the Bengals. I forget his name, the tight end from that. So we're kind of stacked on tight end, but, he could play a substitution if he blocks well. But, Chiefs-wise, we didn't talk about this last episode, but the Chiefs got a safety in the kickoff. There was the new kickoff rules. Everyone's kind of figured it out.
So,
it was a kickoff, and it kind of rolled, and he backed him to the end zone, grabbed the ball when it was on the 1-yard line, and took a knee, and that was a safety. But he didn't know that. He thought that'd be a touchback. But yeah, new safety rule or new kickoff rules kind of made us get a safety. So that's
a bunch
interesting.
of fucking cheaters.
I know, right?
Already abusing the rules.
Xavier Worthy. Our first-round pick
fast little fucker
that the Bills blessed us with. Thank you very much, Buffalo Bills. Love you. He looked good. People have had questions on his size and his getting pushed around and stuff. There's been clips of him in training camp and preseason practices and stuff getting just checked on the line and falling down. But then there's also right schemes and right plays where his speed is undeniable.
Does have to run a bunch of formations where he is running he's not set.
We used to do with Tyreek Hill a lot, where we used to send motion, he'd be on the right side and he would come back behind the quarterback, and then right before the ball hiked, he would do a little cut back, and then they would call a play, and then he would run his route that way. So it was kind of a way to just if it's man to man or if it's zone, kind of keep people on their toes. But yeah, I don't doubt Andy Reid's ability to get him involved, and then. Unfortunately, Hollywood Brown out 4 to 6 weeks. Rasheed Rice, even though he should be suspended and pay the price for his actions, he's probably not going to be suspended. So, he's looking good. We've had this guy on our roster for the last 3 seasons, Justin Ross. I don't know if you remember him. He played at Clemson. Yeah. Real sleeper, real baller.
Trevor Lawrence's old main target.
Yeah. And, he had injuries, and that's why he went undrafted that one year. And then he's kind of been showing glimpses in the preseason, but we also just have a lot of veterans or just high play guys that are ahead of him. So I hope he makes the roster if he earns it, but I don't want him to make the roster just based off potential. He's played pretty well in the preseason, had some nice catches, big time catches, but really really optimistic. I hope he gets a chance, and I just hope we get the best 53-man roster, really contend for that 3-peat.
What I'm hoping, and this has nothing to do with my team, but it kind of does, is, it's been clear, I never wanted Bryce Young. What I wanted the Panthers to do, and I think I talked to you about this before, was I wanted us to suck one more year and get Drake May. That's what that would have been my perfect, like, yes. And as much as I want Drake May to do well, it sucks that it'll be for the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hope.
but I think he's going to do well, dude. I've seen some of the plays he was making in the offseason, sliding around the pocket, doing Drake May things, running away. He's faster than he looks. And I hope he does well, but also I hope like it's gonna suck if he does well, because that's what I wanted. I wanted us to suck one more year.
And I think, and this is, shows like the impatience. Not that necessarily Panthers fans are impatient. You kind of guys have the right to be. You have been pretty bad
since 2017.
Since 2017, but like I don't know if anyone remembers a couple years ago, Mac Jones' rookie year with the Patriots. He looked pretty good, and he was like playing really well. And then second year just was like, wow, what the hell happened? So hopefully the opposite can happen with Bryce Young, and then rookies this year
there have been some rookies
look good.
that also. I mean, Josh Allen wasn't great his first year.
Yeah, like there's a lot of
Jared Goff wasn't great his first year. And then he went to a Super Bowl. He almost went to another Super Bowl.
Went to another Super Bowl with a different team after the first team went away. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see these rookies, and especially the Patriots with Drake May. Like their success with Mac Jones one year, and then their failure with Mac Jones the next year. It's like, is that going to happen again? What's going to
totally
happen?
different coaching staff now.
Totally different coaching staff.
Jared Mayo's in, Bill Belichick out.
Did you hear Jared Mayo? I forgot what he said. He said something about like how I shouldn't even have brought it up because I don't even know what it's referenced to, but just something about if a starter does this, he's not playing in the preseason. If a backup does it, he gets cut from the team or whatever, something like that. I forgot what it is. So
I don't know.
I shouldn't even have brought it up. But as the season approaches, me and Scooter being the perfect predictors that we are,
I'm a great predictor. But now
see,
I've read the script, Roman.
Yeah.
You know me. I have all the scripts.
We are going to cut out his prediction of the script because in the NFL we'll hear it and then his script will
They'll change
true.
it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you what's on the script.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what's not on the script.
Yes. And then when it happens, we'll have a recording that we'll later play that's from today that will show you that Scooter predicted it perfectly.
But I didn't predict it because I just have the script. I just read the script. But I'm going to go with who I want.
Yeah.
In my perfect world, who would I want?
Yeah. So we're going to make predictions on the winners of all the divisions and then maybe even do some seedings for the playoffs and see who's in the playoffs. So Scooter, if you we can go first. Each of us, we'll go. I'll go in order with how ESPN has it. So AFC East.
Okay.
Your prediction, you can just go 1 through 4. I mean, don't have to get records perfect. If you want to do records, you can.
Okay, so we're going to fully just predict
places, I guess.
Places
1, 2,
for
3,
each
4.
division.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say it'll be Miami.
This is kind of a stacked division.
Yeah, Miami, Buffalo, Jets, New England.
Okay, so you think Miami's going to win the division, Buffalo second, Jets third, New England last place.
Yep. And I'm gonna say that the Patriots are a lot closer to the Jets than you like. I'm saying like the Patriots are like 6 and 11 and the Jets are like 7 and 10 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
so you think the Aaron Rodgers season with the Jets this year is not going to go well?
That didn't go well for Favre. It's not going to go well for
the Vikings next.
Yeah.
It's honestly not. It's not the worst scenario. You know, like J.J. McCarthy got injured this year, so he's out for a season. But like, who's to say? Like they're like, oh man, what if he gets injured again? Aaron Rodgers had a bad year. What if he? It'd be so funny if he took the same path.
You never know.
It'd be so funny. But this is a really interesting like storyline for the division. I mean, you got Drake May, New England. You got Josh Allen, Buffalo. You got Tua, Tyreek in Miami, and then you got Aaron Rodgers in New York.
I think Miami just has too much talent on the offensive side of the ball, and I think their defense is good enough to just not lose them games.
They did get some pieces on the defense, I think. I'm forgetting names, but I know they did have a pretty good offseason with signing some defensive players. But I'm going to go with I think I'm going to go with Miami too. Like last year, I feel like maybe a lot of people forget, but there was a time where Buffalo was on the brink of not making the playoffs, like 1 or 2 more losses in like week 12 or 13, and they were going to be like basically out of playoff contention. And they figured it out, they put it together, and they made it to playoffs, and somehow became favorites over the Chiefs. But whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think Miami's primed as long as they don't play any snow games or cold games in the regular season. I think they're going to do good. I'm sure Buffalo will be second. I think it'll be close. 1 and 2 will be close, and then it'll even be close in the wild card to see who makes it. So either one of those teams could not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, England and New York, I think it's probably you just got to give Aaron Rodgers the benefit of the doubt on this to do better than a rookie Drake May team. So, yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Exactly the same. This next division. Now, this division. Thank God my team's not in this division because this is painful.
This is probably the best division in football right now. If you just go off of pure talent.
Pure talent. And even success of last year. Like, all four of these teams almost made the playoffs last year. Like, that's kind of crazy. So, we got AFC North, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh. Who you got?
I'm going to go, assuming that Joey B stays healthy the whole year. And really, that's the thing. That's the problem is, do I have confidence that Joe Burrow will stay healthy the whole year?
Also, a little X factor. Jamar Chase is in a holdout right now for his contract. Like, he's still got 2 years left on his deal, but he's apparently he's stone cold on not playing. A lot of people think he's not going to play a snap until he gets a new deal.
Oh wow!
People don't know if he's going to get a new deal because the owner or someone came out and said we got next year to talk about this. Like, why are we talking about this right now? But he wants a new deal now, and that could cause some issues. Like, if he doesn't have Jamar Chase,
yeah, that could be. But I'm going to give the 2-time MVP. He's 2-time, right?
Yeah, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, 2-time MVP. The up here. So I'm going to go Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and honestly, I know Cleveland has a lot of really good talent. But there's just, for some reason, they can't get that shit together because it's just one of those cursed.
Fuck Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those cursed franchises. I'm actually gonna say Pittsburgh, Cleveland.
Okay.
I'm gonna think that Russell doesn't suck.
Is Nick Chubb playing at the beginning of this year?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But injury was gruesome.
I think maybe Russ isn't as shitty as people say he is.
That's I think the big X factor because I think Pittsburgh's got a good team. Mm-hmm. But if their quarterback,
Mike Tomlin, dude, Mike Tomlin's a really good coach.
Always good.
So,
if one of the QBs can figure it out, I think they got a chance.
I'll go Baltimore, Cincinnati, Pitt, Cleveland. Even though I will say that Cleveland does definitely have the better talent on their team.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers, they find a way to make some noise. Like they made the playoffs last year, right? They made the playoffs, right? No, I don't think so. Maybe not.
I don't know.
I forgot. No, Cleveland did last year. No, Cleveland did. Cleveland because they had Joe Flacco. last year. So
yeah.
So Pittsburgh did not make the playoffs last year, but they got close. And dude, they made it almost to the playoffs with Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, if they can find something with Russell or they can find something with Justin Fields, they're easily sleeper for the wild card. I don't think they'll win the division. I think their team's good, but eventually, there's just too much elite quarterback playing this division to get to number one without an elite quarterback. I mean, Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens, I feel like are just way too disrespected. They are constantly number one in this division or number two.
And their defense is always really good too.
Always good, and now they got Derrick Henry, and we'll see what that looks like.
That Derrick Henry,
that could be dangerous for a lot of people. So I'm still
going to be able to run the clock so much now. Between just running with him and Lamar that.
I think Baltimore is overall team wise just heads above the rest. Even though this is such a stacked division, I think Baltimore is going to win the division. I think 2 and 3 are going to be tight between the Bengals and the Steelers. I mean, even last year with a healthy Joe Burrow at the beginning of the year, they started off rough. That last 2 years, the Bengals have started off really rough, even with a healthy Joe Burrow both years. So if they start off slow this year, I mean, this division's too stacked to start off slow and then figure it out later on. So I think 2 and 3 could go either way, Pitt or Cincinnati. But yeah, I think Cleveland's going to come in fourth, even though they got a lot of talent. I think the inconsistency of Deshaun Watson since he's returned or since he's been on the team is just probably not. But who knows? He could surprise us. Hopefully he doesn't because he's a piece of shit. But yeah.
Now this next one could be probably one of the more tighter races, even though the teams probably aren't the best for the AFC South. I mean, you got Jacksonville, Tennessee, Houston, and Indy. Indy could, if Anthony Richardson comes out and has a good sophomore year after being hurt all year, and Jonathan Taylor comes out and has a good running season.
They got a good offensive line too.
Yeah, if they come out and they have Michael Pittman, they have I think they got Des Walker. I think they drafted
Good
Des Walker.
question. I don't know.
But I know they have Josh Downs. Josh Downs, old Carolina receiver.
Josh
yeah.
Downs.
I mean, they could be really good this year, but I'm gonna go with the guy that we should have drafted, C.J. Stroud, and the Houston Texans. I think there's just a swagger about them right now. They're one of those teams that are kind of on the rise. They went and got Stephon Diggs.
They reloaded. Yeah.
D'Amico Ryans just seems like one of those coaches that just kind of gets it, and he's an ex-player, and he played for the Texans. It just seems like one of those situations that they're gonna do some work. After that, I think it'll be a really tough race between Jacksonville and Indy. I don't think Tennessee. Derrick Henry's gone. What direction do they even go with? Is Will Levis even the guy?
Will Levis look good.
But then the crazy thing is they have him, and they also have Malik Willis, who was also a top 10 quarterback. Like, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Was he a top 10 or was he a second round?
I think he was. I think he was one of the top quarterbacks taken that year, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, that was
top 10.
the year that I think Matt Corral and them and they all slid down a lot. You're right. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. Because I would think I wanted us to take him in the third round, but he was like one of the top quarterbacks. But it was like one year that like quarterbacks dropped like real low because they all sucked. So but two young quarterbacks in there, so that'll be interesting. And then but I don't think they'll be.
Yeah, I mean,
DeAndre Hopkins is their top receiver. He's old.
Yeah, their best offseason move is L'Jarius Sneed, and that's not to slap on L'Jarius Sneed, even though he's an elite cornerback. He's one corner that guards one player on most possessions. I mean, zone, you guard a zone, but like the best move you made in the offseason was getting him, and he can only impact the game so much. Like, so I mean, it's tough to put them on top of the question marks and. Because Will Levis didn't play until like halfway through the season last year.
I think Ryan Tannehill. They were trying to.
Yeah, they were trying to power through because he got the bag.
Because I think also he got some money, and then also like if you're trying to make Derrick Henry happy, you're trying to put the best pieces out there to show him that like, hey, we're trying to win. Yeah. Like so.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much agree. I mean, Houston. I think like the season they had last year, getting to the Final Four in the AFC, losing to the Ravens. Like, and then reloading with Stephon Diggs, and then I think they got Joe Mixon from the Bengals. So, like, they reloaded on offense, gave him more weapons.
They got a lineman, too.
They have the best left tackle in the game, too, with Tunsil, I think is
last name. Yeah,
like,
Tunsil.
that dude is just a freaking beast. So, like,
he was hitting the bong mask in Miami. Got traded. Think about that. And he got traded to the Texans as, like, a punishment.
Yeah.
And then winds up being, like,
he's negotiated. Yeah, he's negotiated his 2 deals by himself, and both times he's reset the tackle market. Like, was the highest paid tackle his last contract, and then this last contract he got reset the market again, became the highest paid left tackle again. So like he's just great story for him. And then I don't think 2 and 3 is going to be that close. I mean, I think Jacksonville. I'm not going to say I'm a believer in Trevor Lawrence, but I just think he needs more weapons around him. And they got Gabe Davis from Buffalo. Yep. I think he's ready to prove himself to like, hey.
And Christian Kirk had a good season.
Do they still have Calvin Ridley? Do they still have Calvin Ridley?
Yes, he's back from gambling.
No, that was last year. He came back from gambling.
Well, then then he signed. You're right. He signed.
So he's not there anymore.
To Tennessee.
Did he really?
I believe he did.
That's good, but like I think Gabe Davis got something to prove. I think Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback, and I think he really needs. I still think he's a great quarterback. I think he's a top 10 quarterback, but he needs to prove that he's one of the ones.
Sign with the Tennessee Titans.
And then I don't think it'll be that close. I think it'll be Houston and Jacksonville kind of vying for that top seed, but I think Houston will get it. Jacksonville will be 2. Really depends on the second year quarterback play. Will Levis, Anthony Richards. Who takes the next step? I feel like Will Levis is probably more likely to take the next step because he got reps, like a lot of reps last year. But also Anthony Richardson's kind of just that like raw.
Also,
prospect.
They got Tyler Boyd.
Who?
Tennessee.
Well, so they got a good wide receiver squad. I kind of crapped on him by saying L'Jarius Sneed was their best sign. I mean, he still was, but they got a decent wide receiver room.
Two decent wide receivers.
I'm going to put them now that the information that you gave me. Yeah. I'm going to go with them 3, Colts 4.
Yeah, I might change my. Who was number 2 in that division?
Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville's definitely number 2. I don't know, man. But like if whatever quarterback they put back there sucks, it doesn't matter what wide receivers you have. If they're all fucking sucking, and you ain't got no run game.
It really, I feel like 3 and 4 could go either way with Tennessee and Indy.
Yeah.
Which quarterback takes the step?
Yeah.
Like it's easier to say Will Levis will because he's had more reps, but Anthony Richardson's kind of like a wild card.
And he's
like,
a physical freak.
He's a physical
and he's
freak,
got some good weapons around him too. And the thing is Anthony has a much better running back, has a much better run game going to go for him.
True.
And probably better line.
Yeah.
So,
Indiana, yeah.
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 So
that's kind of an interesting. I feel like the top 2 are pretty back and forth in the 3 and 4.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it the way I had. I'm gonna have Indy and then Tennessee.
Now onto the toughest division in football to make a decision on who's going to win it.
Yeah.
The AFC West. We got Denver, KC, Raiders, Chargers.
Yeah. Real difficult.
So difficult.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Kansas City Chiefs, they're 0-2 right now in the preseason, so they're probably rebuilding this year.
Big yikes.
Yeah, if you can't win when your shitty players are out there, are you even good? I'm gonna Kansas City, of course. Kansas City number 1, then Chargers, then I'm gonna go with Minshew Magic over whatever the hell Denver's got going for him. Bo Nix. So I'll go Vegas and then Denver. So KC, LA, Vegas, Denver.
I've made these predictions in years past, but nobody's been able to hear my predictions from the whole wide world. So I've been giving Chargers the benefit of the doubt in terms of rankings for a very long time. Been always putting them 2 because it was like they got Justin Herbert. I need to see it this year. Prove me wrong now. I've given you the benefit of the doubt. Prove me wrong. I'm going Chiefs. I'm going Raiders. I'm going Chargers.
Raiders.
I'm going Denver. I think the Chargers have a good team. They've always had a good team. Health and excuses is all that comes out of their mouth. All that they showcase is their inability to stay healthy and their inability to stop making excuses as to why they didn't perform that year.
Well, Quentin, what's his name?
Johnson or something? Yeah, that dude
Johnston,
sucks.
Yeah, he needs to step up because Keenan Allen's gone. And did Mike Williams go somewhere too?
He did. Mike Williams went to the...
I swear to God, if it's Kansas City,
No, it's not Kansas City. I forget where he went. Holy crap, he went somewhere.
Let's see.
But, they also got...
Oh, he went to the Jets.
The Jets. Ooh.
Yeah. He went to the Jets.
But they got Lad McCoy or something.
Lad McConkey.
Lad McConkey.
Yeah, I wish. Oh man,
that's who the Chargers got. Apparently, he's looked really good.
Yeah, I wish we would have gotten him.
I think the Raiders and Chargers are going to be battling for the 2 spot, but I just need to see it from the Chargers. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt for too many years, and then the media always gives him the benefit of the doubt with them winning the division every year. But just show me some. I think the Raiders got a better team. I need Harbaugh to show me something too. I think the Raiders got a better coach for the time being. Like what he was able to like build the team when they were like basically seemed like nothing last year. So I'm going Raiders 2, Chargers 3, Denver 4. I think Denver's just gonna suck.
I don't know. I'm looking at the Chargers depth chart right now.
Yeah,
and they kind of suck.
Yeah,
they
lost a lot of people. They lost Keenan Allen. Too,
yeah,
so.
Gus Edwards is their starting running back. It used to be Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 1 is Joshua Palmer, and then wide receiver 2 is Lad McConkey, and wide receiver 3 is DJ Clark from Carolina last year, and he fucking was awful. So,
but now he's got a guy that can see over the line. So.
And also they do have Rashawn Slater. Yeah, they have a guy who can see. Yeah, they have Rashawn Slater. They have Bradley Bozeman, who was our center last year and was one of the worst centers in the league. Oh. And then
pretty good about
they do have Joe Alt though.
Joe Alt.
Yeah, they drafted Joe Alt as one of their tackles. So I mean, I don't know. Their defense is a lot better, but
their defense is so in. Like Joey Bosa cannot stay healthy.
Yeah,
Derwin James cannot stay healthy.
Yeah,
Khalil Mack is old.
Asante Samuel Jr. Morgan Fox. I like Morgan.
Wait,
Fox.
Khalil Mack is on that team? I thought he was on a different team.
Nope. They also have Denzel Perryman. He was pretty good.
Huh. All right, on to the now that we're done with the AFC, like divisions.
Yeah.
Playoffs. What are your seeding predictions?
Well, I guess it would be I mean, the top four would be who I had. I
Who
had
gets
Miami,
the 1 seed? That's the big
Baltimore.
question. That's the big question. Who gets 1 seed? Who gets the bye?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is gonna be one of those years that it's like, oh man, you remember the year that the Miami Dolphins were the 1 seed?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I think they have enough firepower to just overpower people until the playoffs, until people decide that they want to play every snap, and then things get harder.
I think they're the Toronto Raptors of the NFL, where they always, at least previous, always just do good in the regular season, get good seeding, and then they meet LeBron in the playoffs and they get their ass whooped.
So I'm gonna guess Miami.
Yeah.
But my second and I'm thinking tough year, so I'm thinking like 12-5 or 13-4 is getting you the first seed.
Yeah.
So like I'm saying like Miami's 13-4, Baltimore's 12-5. I'll say, and then I would have honestly. So here this will be interesting. I'll have you guys and Baltimore both at 12-5.
Game 1. I was gonna say that.
Yeah,
I was gonna
game
say that
1
too.
will be the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And actually, I have you I did my bets. I have the Chiefs winning, so I'll stick with that. Chiefs will be the second seed off of the first game of the week,
First game of the season.
Yeah. So or first game of the season, yeah. So
and then Baltimore, and then who you got from the South?
then that would be Houston.
Houston.
Yeah, Houston. Houston, I think would be the third seed.
All right, and then Houston would be the third seed, and then Baltimore would be the 4 seed.
No, you're right.
Baltimore 3 seed, Houston 4 seed.
Yeah.
And then your wild card 5, 6, 7.
Oh, is there 7? There's 7 people now.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Cincinnati, Buffalo,
Okay.
and
Man, somebody like
I'm gonna say Jacksonville.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the NFC South somehow squeaks 2 in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it, right?
Yeah.
That's my 7.
That's your 7. All right. I'm kind of going the same route as you, but a little bit different. I think the 1 seed comes down to the Chiefs and the Ravens. Who wins week 1? That's going to be the real deciding factor. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. They're going to get the first seed. It's going to be the talk of the playoffs. Like, oh my God, here the Chiefs go again. We get the Ravens at the 2 seed. We get Houston as the 3 seed. I'm going to get. I think I said the Dolphins were the 1 seed in the East. I forgot. What did I say? I'm pretty sure I did. So we're going to Dolphins 4. Then we're going to go Dolphins and Bills in the playoffs round 1 matchup. So the Dolphins get a warm game against the Bills for the playoff matchup. And then 6th is going to be... You know what? I think I said Cincy as the second place in the North. I'm going to change that. Pittsburgh gets the 2 seed in the North.
Oh wow!
So they're going to be the 6th. So they're going to be the 6th seed.
This is going to
Wait,
happen.
no. Sorry. Yes. Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
No. I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go the what my body's telling me. I'm gonna go Jacksonville as the 6th seed. So they're gonna. I'm gonna make this. This is gonna be fun. I hope it plays out like this. So Miami, Buffalo gonna play round 1. Then I'm gonna have Houston, Jacksonville playing in round 1, and I'm gonna have Baltimore and Cincinnati playing round 1. So everyone's playing a division rival for the first round of the playoffs to go to the second round. That would be elite like playoff content. And then we don't have to do Super Bowl predictions. We'll do that way later down the road. So just our playoff prediction. That's what we got. So love it, like it, hate it. We don't give up. All right, now on to the NFC.
So I was just looking. The Dolphins do not play you or the Ravens. I was seeing if they played either one of you guys. They do not.
Shocker.
They do play the Raiders for some reason this year, but they don't play you guys.
Interesting. I wonder how that plays out like that. But NFC East, who you got?
NFC East, we are going to have the Eagles. Eagles, Dallas, of course, those 2 up top.
So you got Eagles 1?
Yep, Eagles 1, Dallas 2.
That.
I don't believe in Dallas ever. I mean, CeeDee Lamb might never even play for him.
That's true. I mean,
so, and then I'll have Dan Quinn picked up a lot of good defensive pieces, a couple from Carolina, especially with Freddie Louvu and Jeremy Chin. And I've heard that they've been looking really good, not just those two players, but just like the Commanders in general.
Yeah.
So I'll go Philly, Dallas, Washington, Giants. I think Daniel Jones is about to have a awful season.
Yeah.
And without Saquon Barkley there, good luck. Malik Neighbors better get open all the time or it's going to be a bad year.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is pretty much a two-dog race in the NFC East, and Cowboys fans, aka Sean, can be mad all they want, but like it's a two-horse race. I mean, I want to make the decision with CeeDee Lamb in mind playing this year, even though like the stuff that's transpired. I mean, dude, my owner comes out and says that shit, like, doesn't make me want to suit up for you. Even that, like, he said that stuff, and then he didn't even have the balls to like stay on business. Stay on. He came back and was like, "Oh, but I miss you, CD.
CeeDee Lamb,
I love you, senpai." But
but Dallas sucks.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I mean, their roster, like they got Saquon Barkley. I feel like everyone.
Yeah.
I feel like the Derrick Henry to Baltimore is like kind of overshadowed that move, but like obviously that's an elite move. But like now we're talking about Jalen Hurts with Saquon Barkley. Come on.
Yeah.
And if they're center
and AJ Brown
and
Zach Ertz,
Devontae Smith.
Oh yeah, Devontae Smith.
And Dallas Goddard on that team.
Yeah, damn, yeah.
Like they just got a really good, and if their center, their replacement center, who they drafted a couple years ago in succession plans, like they've had this in plan before Jason Kelce decided to retire. If he can be, 75% as good as Jason Kelce, I mean that's saying a lot because Jason Kelce, best center of all time. But like if he can be half as good, I mean that team's going to be good as long as they don't have that collapse that they did last year at the end. Like, that's going to be a really good team. But I think Saquon Barkley, if they have that still elite, because they still have the rest of their piece of the offensive line minus Kelce. So, like, Saquon Barkley's going to have a good time there. So, I think he's going to be one. I think Dallas is going to be two. But I still think it's close. Like, I'm not saying Dallas is going to shit the bed and not even make the playoffs.
No,
like, I feel like 1 and 2 is going to be a battle.
I think they'll be like an 11-win team.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle. Giants and Washington, they're battling for last place. I think the Commanders have a lot more to, like, play for, I guess, in the future, because like with the Giants, it feels like there's so much pressure. Like you don't win this year, like this shit's getting blown up. Probably
the Commanders have rookie quarterback.
They got a rookie quarterback. They got
have
momentum.
Scary Terry. They got like decent little weapons. Like
they had a little resurgence last year, right? They like competed in a lot of games. They competed in a lot of games last year. So like I like them for the third spot, but like the Giants, too much pressure.
Yeah.
And we got the NFC North. Bears, Minnesota, Green Bay, and Detroit.
I'm gonna go with I think Detroit continues to build off of it. Dan Campbell, I think, got them boys ready to play ball. Yeah, and I love, like, if I wasn't a diehard Panthers fan and I could just change who I was rooting for, I think I would go and root for the Lions. They seem fun.
Yeah,
they get
fun.
Eminem to say things before games. It's great.
Fuck yeah, Eminem.
I'm gonna go Detroit. Green Bay, of course, and I think Green Bay will also be really good. I think Jordan Love will be real good, and I think they'll continue to go. Unfortunately, with J.J. McCarthy out, I will say it'll be Chicago. As long as Caleb Williams is good, like halfway decent, they should be all right.
I ain't gonna lie, dude. If Caleb Williams comes out and is like does everything that everyone says he's supposed to do, like that could be
I'm gonna throw up. If he comes out and does everything he's supposed to do with DJ Moore as his wide receiver,
contract extension.
Yeah, like I'm gonna cry because that literally is what we should have done.
But all three of those teams could be in playoff contention, though. Like for real. Like Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit. I just feel like Chicago.
I don't think
too much rookie.
Yeah, I don't
too
think
much. Yeah, rookie. Yeah, he's just gonna be putting up numbers but not getting wins. Yeah,
and I mean,
empty stats.
If Minnesota sucks enough. Do we see Justin Jefferson trying to get out of Minnesota?
He just signed a contract.
He did, but I mean, hey, that's now teams know what they have to pay to get him. You know what I'm saying?
It's the saddest thing about the NFL, like throughout like history, is like so many of these like elite receivers get put on these teams that just either get unlucky with draft picks or don't ever find the right guy. But obviously, this wide receiver is not going to pass up all this freaking money just to catch balls, so they just stay there for the rest of their career. Like, not saying Calvin Johnson had a bad quarterback, but he had a bad team, and his career was just wasted on one team, and then he just left.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Stafford
Matt Stafford's good, yeah.
Because the other thing is like
They just had a bad team altogether.
to get the numbers that Calvin Johnson was getting, you had to have a quarterback.
Yeah, he was a good
that was
quarterback.
getting you the
Just
ball.
a bad team altogether.
Very bad team.
Very bad team.
Very bad team.
So yeah, Minnesota 4, Chicago 3. You said Green Bay 2nd, Detroit 2,
Yep.
Detroit 1.
And I think both Detroit and Green Bay will be playoff
Yeah,
teams.
I mean I'm kind of right with you. Yeah, Detroit, Green Bay. I mean, yeah, I think Green Bay, at least like weapons wise, I feel like they got a lot of question marks, but I feel like the team in general is like well rounded, pretty good team defensively and offensively. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Detroit 1. I just feel like as Dan Campbell's Randy from South Park, just with the balls in the barrel, just walking down like, yeah, man, I'm just like that. Like that's the kind of vibe he's giving off. So
Yeah,
he's
well.
1. Green Bay 2, Chicago, and then Minnesota. Unlucky that JJ McCarthy got injured. So, but Sam Howell's the quarterback, right? Is he the starter
For who?
for
No.
Minnesota?
No, for Minnesota?
Yeah,
No, Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold's the starting quarterback
All right,
for
all right.
the Minnesota Vikings.
On to the most stacked division in NFL history.
The
Some
most
might say.
stacked. Who even knows who's the best quarterback in this?
even
because
knows?
they're
This
so
might be
good.
the most stacked division in NFL history, ladies and gentlemen. NFC South, we got New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, and Carolina. Who you got?
So this is the thing about the NFC South. We have a long history of never having the same team win twice. Now
Tampa won last year, right?
Yes, Tampa I think has won the past 2 or 3. So right now the little run that Tampa's on,
Is that Tom Brady?
yeah, they have Tom Brady and stuff. For the little run that Tampa's on is kind of like crazy for the NFC South because there was like a 7-year period where the team that was last in the NFC South the year before would win the NFC South the next year. There was even one time when the Panthers won it at 7-9.
Yeah.
It's
So
amazing.
same. Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of the Seahawks did it one year too. But yeah.
But so with that, the guys who were in last were the Carolina Panthers. I don't think we're going to go
Okay,
first. So,
I was about to say.
I think with Kirk Cousins in Atlanta,
He's got to get the ball to Kyle Pitts.
yeah, he's gonna get the ball to Kyle Pitts.
Got to.
And I don't think I think Atlanta's like a 9-8 team, but I think that will be enough.
Yeah. They're running back. What's the running back name? Something Robinson. Bijan?
Bijan
Bijan.
Robinson from Texas last year.
They just got to give the free. I remember the controversy last year of them not giving the ball to him. They got to Kyle Pitts, and Kirk Cousins could be good.
So like if that all works out, I think they can be a 9-8 team and win the NFC South. I think that's what it will take.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think with just Baker and
Mike Evans.
He's
He's going for the record, the 11 straight 1,000-yard
yeah,
seasons.
and Tristan, they got good pieces on the offensive line. They have a coach that's been there for a little bit. I think it'll be Tampa Bay too, and I mean they could also be a 9-8 team that loses because of just standings and shit, just tiebreakers. And then I think it'll be New Orleans. Actually, I think what's his name? Dennis Daly, is that their coach's name?
I have no idea.
It's something like that. I forget what his name is. I think he's just going to shit the bed. I'm hoping he's a Matt Rule and New Orleans just has an awful season. And I hope people don't know about us that much. Canales gets a few wins off of his wacky new coaching schemes. I'm going to say it's going to be Carolina and then New Orleans. And that's probably like
Optimist, yeah.
like
You're
a
being
game
very
or two.
optimistic,
Like
yeah.
I'm guessing Carolina wins 6 games, 6-11, and New Orleans will probably win 6-7 games. Like I feel like that's where they're at. So
All right. I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, I definitely feel like Tampa Bay or Atlanta, they got the most experience. Like you got Kirk Cousins, you got Baker Mayfield, 2 guys that got the job done and got to the playoffs.
Baker just got paid.
Baker just got paid. And I think there's question marks in New Orleans with Derek Carr's ability to be the number one, and then they got the talk of the training camp for for New Orleans has been Spencer Rattler. Like he looks good. Like he looks like he could be like the future quarterback. So do they move on after a couple bad weeks and just roll with him, and then he kind of he's figuring it out. He makes mistakes, they lose games, whatever. So I'm kind of with you. I'm gonna go 1 or 2. I mean, I think Kirk Cousins is going to get the job done. You give him an elite player like Kyle Pitts, as long as you can get the ball to him.
They have like Drake London and stuff like that. So they have other good receivers.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go them 1, Tampa 2,
Cordell Patterson, does he play for the?
I think he may have retired.
Did he
Cordell
retire?
Patterson.
I think
He
actually,
may have.
yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right.
New Orleans number 3, and with the first overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers. They get it this year. They actually get to keep the pick.
We get we're down low. Yeah, I'm glad, dude.
I don't know, but if you do, at least you get the pick.
Yeah, and somebody's knocking over your private dumpster.
Oh my gosh! I told that hobo that I don't have any food in that dumpster, man.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I want to have optimism that we're not going to be the shittiest team in our division, but that's very, very. But
easily, if
honestly,
New Orleans makes the change fast, then you could see
what
some rising.
If being a little bit shittier means we get the first overall pick. I mean, I guess I'd rather do that than be the third shittiest team in the league and get the third overall pick.
So question, and I know we've talked about this
Yeah.
hypothetical so many different times, but you're the worst team in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
Bryce Young doesn't look good.
Yeah,
he's had
we
glimpses.
move on.
He doesn't look good. Do you draft if you get the first overall pick? Do you draft a quarterback?
Okay, so it depends on what quarterbacks. If they,
I have no. There's an Alabama quarterback. There's another dude from
Milroe.
Georgia, I think.
Yeah, Carson Beck.
Yeah.
There's Patrick Ewers.
I hear there's this dude from South Alabama that's a freshman this year, Gio Lopez. You guys want to tank for like way later down the road?
Maybe. So it depends on what quarterbacks are available.
Let's say Milrose from Alabama. They ball out this year. They win a national championship. He looks good. Like he's also kind of short, isn't he? He's kind of short.
I don't think he'll. I'm sorry.
He's got speed.
But I don't think he'll be a good NFL quarterback. Okay. So, great quarterback for Alabama though, and I think he'll be a great college quarterback. But I just don't. When I see him, I just don't think that's like one of their better quarterbacks that they've had. Great athlete though. I don't know, man. Like so. Then it comes into the situation of, okay, is there a freak athlete defender that like we can get that will be a surefire like lineman? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing.
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
But like I think there's a kid from Tennessee that people are talking a lot about. Something Verse Jr.
There is a guy in Alabama that wrecks my shit every college football game I play against him. So I don't know what his name is.
So, but like, if there's like a guy like that, I think I'd rather taking him, us sucking. Maybe for one more year, and then getting Arch Manning.
Oh yeah,
2 years.
Arch Manning. Is Quinn Ewers or whatever the dude? Is he leaving after this year? I don't know what his like eligibility.
So
is.
like this is the thing is, I don't know.
I don't know either.
But if he doesn't,
football, he can.
Yeah, like so if he doesn't, like if he stays in Texas, either I would see Arch Manning transferring to go play somewhere because like Texas was just the place he went to, but technically like he has connections to Ole Miss. He has connections to Tennessee. So, like, he could go to one of those places and play. Or maybe he comes down to Carolina and plays for some reason. Who knows?
Maybe he comes Rock Chalk Jayhawk, baby.
Dude, no, that sucks. That's a bad choice. We got Mac Brown, old Texas coach.
Yeah.
Coming.
We got Lance Leopold. I don't know where he was before this, but he's Rock Chalk now. Come on, Archie.
But if you know what I'm saying, like, if there's a generational quarterback coming up, I'd rather wait than just take whoever, because that's what got us in the situation in the first place. Is we took the quarterback that everybody was like, because the quarterback class with Bryce and CJ Stroud wasn't like whoa, like they were already talking about Caleb Williams next year. You know, like so if it's another one of those situations where it's like, oh, this is an okay quarterback class, I'd rather us just take the best surefire. We are not in the situation to where we have stars all over the place.
Yeah,
take the best player and either suck or try to sign Tua. You know, I'm not saying Tua's, but like, you know what I'm saying, like try to sign a big time quarterback that might be done in a situation that they're in or whatever. But
Derek Carr,
no, I wouldn't want Derek Carr.
I just have one little lick of advice for the Carolina Panthers GM, Dan Morgan. If you don't get the first pick this year, don't trade up for it. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't trade up for it.
Because we'll have to trade like everything.
Please don't trade up for it. Just live with what you got and move on, brother.
Well, but also different GM. Scott Fitterer was the one who was trading up because he knew he was going to get fired, so he was trying to make a big splash.
Don't be Scott Fitter, Dan Moore.
And if you do trade up, take the quarterback that like has the traits of a normal NFL quarterback.
Take somebody that can see over the line, for the love of God.
Yeah.
All right, last division, NFC West, probably the most stacked.
No, it's not.
Just top heavy again.
Yeah, well, I think there's only one team.
Really? You don't think the Rams?
No, San Francisco.
San Francisco's heads above heels, yeah, but
Yeah. You got to remember, this is first year of no Aaron Donald. How does that defense even look? You know what I'm saying? Like, they've had such a cornerstone anchor on the line that
he gets double teamed every time.
All the time.
And
dude.
if he doesn't, he wrecks havoc.
Yep. Wrecks havoc.
Wrecks havoc.
There you
go. There we go. Woo!
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's going to be totally different for him. I think that Seattle has a much better chance of ending in second place. Geno comes back out, has a great year. Kenneth Walker comes out, has a great year. They also signed Sam Howell. So
where did Tyler Lockett go? Did Tyler Lockett leave?
I think Tyler Lockett's still there, isn't he? They have DK Metcalf.
I don't know. It's a good question.
Let's see.
But I'll
Tyler
do my predictions
Lockett
while you're looking that off.
Seattle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Make your prediction. What you think?
He's 31.
What you thinking?
He's 31 years old. He's not that old. So I have San Francisco, Seattle, Rams, and then you got the guy who you came and buy a jersey for down there, and Marvin Harrison Jr., which I'm glad. I'm kind of glad he didn't come to Carolina. I can't buy a jersy for my
number one overall pick.
My number one overall pick. Arizona also. Quarterback that can't see over the line.
He had a good year.
He's a little. He had
at least one. Good
he is
year.
a little. He is a little taller than Bryce. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So,
but I'm kind of maybe this is the most toss up at least for people underneath San Francisco. But so I go San Francisco. I like the Rams. Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
And then
he's good.
What's the other dude, white guy.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. I like their offense, their defense. I still think they're good, but yeah, we'll have to see what their defensive line looks like. If there's people on that
apparently
line.
Apparently they're both 5'10".
Oh.
The internet says Kyler Murray and Bryce Young
same size
are both 5'10".
But I'm gonna go Rams and then Seahawks and then Arizona. All right, now the playoffs, the rankings. What are we thinking? Seeding.
I'm gonna go with San Francisco, number 1 seed. Number 2 seed, Detroit. 3 seed, Philly. 4 seed, I guess, would be. Well, they just get a playoff spot. They don't get automatic 4 seed, do they?
Yeah, they do. The division.
Yeah.
The division gets automatic spot.
Then Atlanta.
Automatic home game.
Okay, so Atlanta. So then my 3 wildcard teams would be Green Bay, Dallas. Shoot, dude. Freaking shoot.
Kind of between Tampa or like the Seahawks.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the Seahawks.
That's 7. My ranking, I think Philly is going to somewhat replicate their success 2 years ago, where they were like dominant, clear number 1 seed. I think they'll take the 1 seed. I think Detroit will be the 2 seed. I think the 49ers might kind of take a step back and kind of like not, like they're also been pretty dominant in the regular season for the last couple of years or so. So I think they're going to take a step back, be like the 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, the NFC South is so weak. I think they're almost guaranteed the 4 seed. And then after that, I think Dallas is going to be the 5 seed. They're going to be the best wild card team. And then I think Green Bay will be right behind them. And then after that, I'm probably going to go the Rams. I think the Rams will make the playoffs.
Rams. I mean, Rams aren't bad choice either.
But it's going to be an interesting NFL season. I'm excited to watch more games this year. We are also starting a fantasy football league, I'm pretty sure, as long as we can get one more person at least. We got 7 right now. We just got to find an 8th.
Yep. We'll get somebody. We'll
get somebody out there. But
there'll be punishments.
We're going to figure out a punishment. If
we'll figure out a prize.
If y'all got any good ideas, let us know about punishment-wise. The people that are involved in this league will be in different states, so it's going to kind of be a little hard to find a punishment, but we'll figure something out.
Maybe the loser gets sent to go watch a Carolina Panthers game. Cause that seems,
I'm going to see a Panthers game.
That seems pretty punishing.
I'm going to see a Panthers game. I'll see the Chiefs play the Panthers this year.
Well, it'll be fun for you.
It will be pretty fun for me.
Unless we lose, or unless you lose. What if y'all lose to the Panthers? Bryce Young comes out and throws 500-something yards.
Terrible 4-hour drive back home.
Yeah, dude. And never has a game like that ever again. Just the random Bryce Young game where he pops off and then never does it again.
One more thing of note. We've talked a lot of football today, but we're going to talk a little bit more. There's been some controversy around the NFL flag or Olympic flag football team. A lot of people talking, mainly the people on Team USA Olympic team right now, saying that they don't believe football or NFL players should get like a guarantee.
Yeah, let's try out.
Like spot on the thing. I'm just trying to figure out some rules for flag football. Make sure 7-on-7 flag football. I believe it's 7-on-7.
Yeah, there's no line, right?
I don't believe so.
Or is there a center? One lineman? I don't know. How's that work? Like,
any defensive player lined up 7 yards off the line of scrimmage is eligible to rush. They got to be off the line of scrimmage. The ball is handed off. Interceptions are returnable. Ball is dead when it hits the ground. All offensive football penalties result in a loss of down and yardage. All defensive flag football penalties result in an automatic first down, and some are associated with yardage. So,
but yeah, flag football. I mean, I think there may be a different skill set than normal football, especially when it comes to the dexterity of grabbing the flags. I think people who are used to moving just their hips around, because I mean that's where you're aiming for is the hips, right? So maybe there's different juke moves and different movements that are different than when you're trying to move your whole body around. But yeah, I think there's some little shifty running backs and stuff that would probably be pretty good. Any of the wide receivers that also line up as running backs, I feel like would be a good addition.
Hold on, I'm just trying to find out.
He's locked in.
I'm trying to find out how many players are actually allowed on the roster.
17. There probably isn't a lot. I bet you there's a lot of Ironman, kind of like arena football.
Answer. I should have prepared for this.
You should have prepared for it.
What are the rules? There are 5 players on each team on the field, drawn from a 12-person squad.
Ooh, 12 people, yeah.
12-person squad. So you want to make a 12-man roster right now?
A 12-man roster. I don't even know how this.
I don't.
How this.
You know what? We're gonna look up the rule. I'm gonna deep dive in the rules this next week, and then we'll make the roster next week. I don't want to do something wrong and have the roster completely changed. But coming next week, a little cliffhanger for y'all for next week. A little cliffhanger. We're gonna make our flag football Olympic team. But really excited to see the flag footballs in the Olympics in 2028. I think it'll be fun.
I think it's a game that we're adding so we can win another gold.
Yeah, right. The USA really pushing for it. Hey, football, please.
Even though we lost, that whole World Championships of football thing.
Our QB thinks he's better than Patrick Mahomes.
Well, when it comes to flag football, he is. How many?
No, he's not.
How many touchdowns has
Patrick Mahomes
thrown in flag football?
I don't know, but I'm sure he could play.
So when you look at the record books, Patrick Mahomes is worse.
This man's 5'8". I'm sorry, my 6'4" Patrick.
You don't
Mahomes.
need to see over the line when there's no line.
Okay, Bryce Young's our quarterback.
Bryce Young might be our quarterback.
Spoiler, little hint, little sneak peek of next week. Our starting quarterback for our Olympic team in 2028 is going to be Bryce Young.
What if that is like? Man, I wonder if you just took
Lamar Jackson should be our quarterback on the real though.
Oh,
if you can run, Lamar Jackson should be our quarterback.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Drake Young, Drake Young, Drake May, Drake Young.
Drake Young. But so yeah, kind of looking forward to that. I think at least I don't think a hot take at all, but I think flag football needs somebody from the NFL to be on a flag football team.
But
whether it's for USA or not, they need somebody to make football fans want to.
Who risk going hard and just blowing out a ligament or something like that, and then
Tyreek Hill says after football he wants to be in porn. So if he injures himself on the flag football field, congratulations, Tyreek. You can go to your next career.
Yeah, that's going to slow down his career. There, you need all your muscles for the.
I should have said corn.
I should
have said corn instead of the other word. We'll cut that out.
Will we?
No, probably not.
I was like, I didn't write it down. Yeah, you can go through.
Outside of the sports world, football season coming up. What are we doing? What are you doing?
Nothing really, to be honest. Just being a dad. It's almost school time, so getting getting the things ready for the boys and all that stuff. I know you've been grinding away over there on the little 7 Days to Die.
7 Days to Die, man. It's a pretty addicting game. I used to not like survival games. I thought they were just too tedious and too grindy. But then I played Valheim, and I fell in love with the survival games in a way. Played Valheim, played Power World, who I'm currently playing with right now, and I enjoy Power World as well. It's a good time with that. Played Ark, played 7 Days to Die. I've played Once Human and a bunch of other survival-like games. One thing about 7 Days to Die that really like hooks me in a way, not saying it's the most realistic game ever, because it's not, but like if a zombie apocalypse were to happen, like the grind in 7 Days to Die, like you obviously start off with nothing. And just the grind to like get consistent things, like get consistent like food like sources, like to keep yourself full because you get hungry in the game.
Yeah.
And then continuously getting enough water that always comes dirty that you have to then clean to make clean water to drink. Like the grind to like get consistent stuff to make life, like feel normal. Like, now we kind of just really gotten enough water to where we're not thirsty all the time. Because when you're thirsty or you're hungry, you get less stamina, less health. So, like, that's kind of a thing where it feels like we are progressing in, like, the apocalypse. Like, we're learning how to survive and, like, make life more efficient and easy. And it's just, in that aspect of the game's gotten me and my old roommates, Levi and Braden, pretty addicted to the game. Really fun time. We wish you'd still join us, but...
You guys are too far ahead.
I know.
You're too far ahead now. And
I knew you were going to say it.
It's over for me,
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
It's so fun.
Maybe next time, in less than a month, we'll have 2K.
I know. That's what I was about to say. I was like, me and you both are really just trying to find games and stuff to take our time, to make time go by faster so that 2K comes out. We can play some 2K.
2K's coming. The 2K grind's coming. The me hating my first character is coming.
I'm so excited. I can't wait. This year's going to be fun, I feel like.
We say that every year.
I know. And in most years, it is fun. I mean, I can't think of the last year where at least the first, 4 months wasn't really fun to play.
I don't know.
Or at least addicting.
This game
really tested your limits.
Yeah, it was real testy.
There was a point where I feel like you were on the verge of quitting.
Yeah, I had to change. I had to throw a bunch of money to make a new character.
Yeah, but
I had to grind to 90 so I get a fucking what was it? Where you can make a character at 90. I forget what it's called.
Rebirth.
Rebirth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to wait till you got Rebirth.
But yeah, I mean, I love the. I hate that a new game comes out every year because I got to spend money for a new game every year and make new builds and all
2K
that.
loves that a new game comes out every year because we have to spend money.
Suckers like us spend money. But I just love the aspect of figuring out the game again and finding out what works for you. Most of the time, it's pretty much the same, just little tweaks here and there on how you score differently or the little cheeses in the game that you have to avoid or not avoid and exploit or whatever. But I'm really excited. Yeah, just playing enough 7 Days to Die and Power World and EAFC or EA Football and EAFC, even though EAFC is pretty much dead now. Yeah. Just trying to make the time go by faster till September 4th so we can fucking put our teeth into that shit.
Speaking of 2K and basketball and stuff like that, that's a little thing. Just that really I just don't understand. I was seeing the predictions for the awards this year, right? And they predicted most MVP and all that stuff, and they had most improved. And they're predicting that Victor Wembanyama will win most improved.
I hate that shit.
And I hate that. So do I understand that, yes, technically he can improve from what he was last year.
But he was Rookie of the Year.
He was Rookie of the Year. Yeah, it's expected of that. I don't feel like the most improved award should go to a guy who's an all-star and stuff like that. I feel like it should go to a guy who maybe was fringe roster guy who now is actively
or maybe a rookie that was on all rookie second team.
Yeah.
He showed glimpses, but
now he's an all-star.
And now he's an all-star or the best player on his team, even though they might not be the best team. Or a guy that was a rotation man off the bench, but has now worked his way into the starting lineup and is a key pivotal.
Or maybe even 6-man. And now he's I don't know.
More bench players should be considered. I feel like a lot of the times it's people we expect to take the next leap, that do take the next leap, and be wow, this guy improved. We gave him all these freaking accolades the year before. We gave him all his props the year before. We saw this coming. We all saw this coming. Does every player actually do what we see coming? No, but I feel like
but it's clear that he's going to be one of the better players.
I just feel like it's an award where players that don't get all the shine or the expectations that show us, oh man, we should have had expectations for this guy type stuff. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. One thing before we bounce, even though I'm kind of jumping over the place, but I've been seeing, and I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here, but I'm going to try to be the last time I talk about
Let's see.
this. Still basketball season.
Oh, is this Jason Tatum stuff?
Nope, not Jason Tatum
okay.
stuff. I guess it's in relation to Jason Tatum. But, before the Olympics started, somebody asked Jason Tatum, who would you take, this Olympic team or your team? He said, I'm going to take my boys, my guys that I've been fighting all season.
Yeah.
And then, after the Olympics, people will just, the hate for the Celtics and people saying, Celtics fans came out and said, like, oh, this Celtics team would wipe the floor with Team USA. And, like, people were like, that's ridiculous to take. Like, why would you even say that? And then people are saying, like, yeah, the fact that anyone even thinks the Celtics would contend with Team USA is ridiculous. Call me crazy. Maybe you can be the mediator of this. I'm not even just talking about the Celtics.
Yeah.
But I'd say almost most playoff teams, maybe like the bottom, like 3 of the East because the East is weak, most playoff teams in the NBA would be the best competition to the Olympic Team USA roster.
So let me ask you this. In this hypothetical game against each team,
Yeah.
let's say the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Would the Timberwolves playing against Team USA have Anthony Edwards, or would Anthony Edwards be on Team USA?
I think,
or would he be on both in this hypothetical?
I think you could take it either. Like, no matter what, he has to be on the Timberwolves because that's what makes the Timberwolves good.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Like so it just depends on.
It depends on if it's just a clone of Anthony Edwards on both teams and they play. Even then, either way, because like Team USA, like we're matching Team USA against one team in the NBA. Whether they face all the teams eventually, that's irrelevant. Like they're facing the Timberwolves. Let's say Ant can't be on both teams. You remove Ant, and they can replace him with anybody else in the NBA or anybody else that's on a U.S. citizen
I think it's
for
gonna
basketball.
I think it's going to be pretty tough for any team to really beat Team USA.
Yeah, I think it's tough because it's a one game. It's not a series or whatever. But
I mean, it is like the thing is, and especially this past year. I mean, it's Steph, it's KD, it's LeBron, it's a lot of really good players, and some would say the best players that are American in the NBA for the most part.
Yeah.
Were there.
Yeah, I want to be clear. I think Team USA would win.
Yeah.
If they had to play all these games like in 3 weeks, I'm sure one team would probably eventually get the best of them. But let's just say it is one session, one team, and every time it's like we wiped their memories and they didn't know that the last game wasn't played. It's like all in their own universe.
Yeah, fresh legs, everything.
Fresh legs. I think Team USA probably wins all the games. Like, I think that USA is the best team in this. But the fact that we're seeing like Serbia give them a run for their money, up by 17 at one point, 13 in the fourth quarter. France was in there until Steph went off, and those teams don't even have a roster full of NBA players.
I think that contributes more to, and we talked about this before, those teams just understanding FIBA ball more. And when you have teams like France or like Serbia, even though they do have a few NBA players like Jokic and Bogdanovic, I think, was on Serbia, right? And
Bogdanovic, yeah.
Yeah, Bogdanovic.
And Jokic.
Yeah, Jokic.
Even though Jovic did not play in that game.
But they have NBA players that, like, sure, are going to come implement, but all those NBA players also understand. Like, Jokic played in Europe leagues, right? Like, so he also understands FIBA ball and stuff like that, too.
But I just think any NBA team, they have an entire roster of NBA players. They're competing. They are giving Team USA. They are in the gold medal match unless they face before leading up. If they're on the opposite side of the bracket, it's Team USA. The top 8 best teams in the NBA, maybe even more, are seeing Team USA in the gold medal match. They are better than every single Olympic roster that is assembled because, yes, Serbia does know FIBA rules, but they have 3 NBA players, and every other NBA team that's playing has 12. That's just my take.
I mean, but
they're the best. They are the best competition to Team USA.
So this is the other thing is I do understand that the NBA is the best league right in the world, but so let's say I'm some guy who's playing over in Europe and I'm making, and we'll just translate this all to American dollars that way. Just let's say I'm making the equivalent of $3 or $4 million to be one of the best FIBA guys out there, or do I want to go make $3 or $4 million not being one? Because you can probably make the same amount of money, just you're no longer going to have that the role that you probably have over in Europe. So I mean, how many guys that could possibly play in the NBA and be decent role players just don't, because over there they can still be one of the key players. So I mean, that's the other thing to think about too is personally, and how many, and I know America is the land of the free, home of the brave, and
Yeah.
we all have this thought that like everybody wants to move here.
Yeah.
But there are also a lot of people who don't want to move here.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could be also a thing too, where like, hey, if I'm not going to make much more money, and I'm going to be a much less important player,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I just stay in my home with my family and play for Real Madrid or whatever, like whatever the hell they play for.
Personally, I don't think there's that many in Euros that, have the ability to be a top 10 man rotation guy in the NBA that aren't in the NBA. I feel like almost every player that's in the Euro leagues, whether they want to live in America or not, 'cause you don't have to live in America. You could be drafted by the Raptors or play for the Raptors, but it is known worldwide in basketball.
Well, just by moving across.
Yes, yeah. The NBA is the best league in basketball.
Yeah.
If you truly believe you're one of the best basketball players in the world, you are going to want a shot to prove that in the best league that there is that has the most eyes on it. At least one try, like Gerson Yabusele, for example. He got drafted. He tried, could never make a solid rotation. Any minutes that he got, he didn't contribute. It didn't work out. He gave it 2 years. He went back to Euros. He's a very great player in Euros. He's one of the best players in Euros.
So now is it going to be worth to go ride the bench?
And now he's taking a pay cut.
Yeah.
Going back to the NBA to give it a chance. Because I feel like if you truly believe you're the best, you want to prove you're the best at least once. If it doesn't work out, you're like, man, I didn't really like the environment out there. I didn't like the team I was on. I didn't like, the coaches that I dealt with. I like how Europe plays better. Yeah, there are a few out there that probably could that don't want to because they've already given it a shot and it didn't work out. Yeah, I don't feel like there's that many.
I think that's a good that's exactly my point though. What you said though is the man who was out over there in Europe having a great time in Europe had to take a pay cut to come play over here.
Yeah,
and
to not take a pay cut because he was the best player, making $2.5 million, and now he's making like $2 million.
So and that's what I'm saying. Like, so now you're not even you take a pay cut, and who knows if you'll get even 10 minutes of playing time. Yeah.
But that's as the best player.
Yeah.
This is as a maybe not even get minutes type of player. So like if you earn your minutes in the NBA, you're making double, triple what you were making over there.
Yeah.
Like that type of generational money that I feel like most players will at least give it a try if they have the talent.
I mean, I think a couple $1 million is already generational money.
But like you already have the talent. You're already showcasing it over there. Giving it a shot over here for a little bit less to be on the bench and to maybe earn a chance to make more. Like most players aren't going to take that chance and like pass up. But I just feel like, Team USA proved they were the best. We have a bunch of players in NBA that would kill to be on Team USA that are only going to play for Team USA. That easily, we put the Dallas Mavericks in the Olympics. The Dallas Mavericks, Serbia or Slovakia, whoever Luka plays for. They're not involved because they weren't involved in the Olympics this year. They didn't qualify. But Luka Mavs in the Olympics this year, they're going to the gold medal match. They're facing Team USA, and they're getting their ass whooped. The Mavericks are at least. The Oklahoma City Thunder, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Denver Nuggets. Definitely. I mean, so many teams. I'm going to even put it out there. The Orlando Magic.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Charlotte Hornets.
No.
The Charlotte Hornets aren't making it to the gold medal game? You said any team, and now the Hornets won't make it.
I said the top 10 teams for sure. Like the other teams, you could possibly make an argument like maybe there are players on the Charlotte Hornets or the Detroit Pistons that probably don't deserve a roster spot right now, but the team's giving them more time because they believe in them. Like there's players on the team that maybe aren't going to be in the NBA in 2 or 3 years, and that's going to be a whole different roster. And now you're looking back like, oh, that team probably couldn't have completed in the Olympics because they didn't have a lot of NBA players. But maybe there are players on the Charlotte Hornets that want a bigger role that eventually go to a different team, like a Caleb Martin who was on the Hornets at the beginning, then got cut, then went to the Heat, got a better role, and is now like a sought-after role player that just got like $40 million from the 76ers.
To be honest, he has the same role he had with us. He's just doing it for a better team.
Way better, yeah. Way better.
He's doing it for a better team.
Like I might even not be giving the other crappy NBA teams enough credit. They could easily be in the gold medal match too because, again, the 12 men on each team, every single player that the NBA teams bring over to compete in this like theoretical Olympics, they're all NBA players. That's just my take. maybe I'm holding too hard on the Celtics because I mean. Definitely the Celtics. I'm so sorry. The Celtics are going to the gold medal match. I'm so fucking sorry. If anyone disagrees with that, that's crazy.
Well, I mean that yes, the
NBA championship.
Yeah, I think anybody who possibly was a main title contender would make it to the gold.
The Pacers, I think, dude. The Pacers, the pace in which they play.
Yeah,
that could get like they could give anybody. And they catch Team USA against the.
So you tell me the guy who doesn't even play for Team USA leads.
That's what I'm telling you, dude. This talent, they could get in the gold medal match. But if they catch Team USA on a shooting night like they had against Serbia, Pacers are blowing out the fucking water, dude. Like if Team USA can't hit threes, the Pacers will run them. Like, come on.
The Pacers will run Team USA
if they don't have a good 3-point.
I don't know about that.
That's just if they. I said that, I'm saying like this is a hypothetical, like one of the worst games Team USA could play, which they had one of those games against South Sudan. In the exhibition matches, they had a terrible game where they won by 2. Like if they have that type of game, you're telling me the Indiana Pacers, the fastest paced team in the NBA,
that was in the prelims.
Stuff?
That wasn't.
I know. And like I said,
before they care.
Like I said, I am putting it like the worst case scenario for Team USA to have to going up against the Pacers. They have the worst shooting night. Steph don't have it. Katie don't have it. All the shooters. Devin Booker doesn't have it. Like all the shooters don't have it. The Pacers will definitely be in the game, if not win the game. And that goes for the same for the Celtics. I think a one game for it all, I think gives Team USA the edge. If we're going 7-game series. I think Team USA still wins.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Like one game, like gives LeBron a chance to give everything he's got for that one game, which is why I think he was so dominant in the Olympics. But that's just my take. People thinking it's so crazy that the Celtics could beat Team USA. I don't think it's that crazy. I think they're the best chance to beat Team USA.
Hey, well, let Roman know if he's
right.
Yeah,
let me know. If y'all think I'm wrong, that's fine. But that's just how I feel.
Let him know that he's wrong.
That's just how I feel. That's just my thoughts. We talked a lot more than I thought we would this time. But love you all. Yeah.
Hey, have a great week.
Great week.
We'll catch you when we catch you.
Bye.
Bye.